This might be the least prepared I've ever been for a video. Here we go. Okay, so I have been up since probably like 3:45, tossing and turning, thinking about book stuff and just life stuff. And it's now like 7 in the morning. And I finally just like, I need to get on here and update you guys. So as you guys are probably assuming from the title of this video, Nano hasn't gone well. It's been an interesting month, and I keep opening up my camera to film and to let you guys know what's going on, and for one reason or another, I never finish them or never compile them to upload them, and here we are. I haven't made a video since, well, almost a month. Alright, so what happened this month is, I think, a lot of things, but here we go. So, as most of you know, I've been working on The Lost Defiance for about 2 years now, and I came to realize, especially this last week, after being so frustrated with myself that I was gonna fail camp because I was so far behind, but it was not only was I gonna fail camp, but I felt like I was failing as a writer, and I was failing this manuscript. And I reached out to one of my most amazing writer friends, CP Jenna, and we were talking about it, and she, being the helpful, beautiful human being she is, was like, well, you know, send me your outline, send me your last complete draft, and I can, you know, compare the two, and I can help you figure out what's going on, like what's happening. That should be really easy for a writer who's been working on a manuscript for 2 years, but it's not. So, I don't know why this is hard for me to say, because as writers, I don't know. While I say I'm on like the 4th draft of The Lost Defiance, I can probably honestly say that I've never even fully finished one. Because even that first draft that I finished 2 years ago last weekend was full of notes to myself of like, you know, add more to this scene or add more to this scene. A lot of the chapters were missing those kind of transitional pieces because I didn't want to write them right then and there. So even that first draft wasn't a full draft. So for me to be able to send out a full draft of my manuscript is impossible because it is honestly a disaster. It's a mess. I've got like 5 different Scrivener files of super patchwork thrown together. I've actually started referring to it as the Franken novel because I'm just like stealing pieces and adding in. And so basically, all of that being said, last Saturday, I believe it was not a good day for Carrie when it finally hit me of what I was dealing with The Lost Defiance. And I spent most of the day really upset and convinced that I was done writing, like, for good. I was just so frustrated with the fact that I had spent 2 years slamming my head against a wall on this manuscript that while I'm super passionate about, and it's definitely something that I want to finish at some point, I was killing myself over manuscripts that it just seemed pointless. It seemed like this was my passion project and this is what I loved and this is what I've been talking about for the last 3 years now, is this book and this series, and I can't even write it. I can't even write a full draft in 3 years. And I understand, like Tolkien, it took him 16 years to write The Lord of the Rings. I understand that especially fantasy takes time. It's not an overnight process. I'm aware of that. But the fact that I've been working on it for 3 years, this is the 4th draft, and I still have huge plot holes that I don't know how to fill, despite me trying so hard, it was so discouraging. And about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, I just decided, well, then I'm done writing. Obviously, if I can't write this, then I'm not a real writer. I'm a hack. I'm a fake. I have so many writing friends who are amazing and incredible, and they've been working on projects for a shorter amount of time. And I ran into this like super like just toxic web of thinking. And that's when I was like, I'm done. I'm giving up. I'm just done. I'm done. And so I started reading Harry Potter because that's what I do as my coping mechanism for life, is to read Harry Potter. And as I was reading, it reminded me why I write in the first place. Harry Potter means the world to me, and that's a different video for a completely different time. But it reminded me of why I want to write, because I'm sitting here reading this, and I have this other project in my head that I've been toying with for a while now, that I've been wanting to write for a while now. It's my 80s book baby. And as I was reading, I just kept having these ideas and these ideas and these ideas and these ideas. And I realized no matter how long it takes and no matter what skill level I'm at, I'm a writer. Because even when I am done writing, like I was done with writing, I was still like coming up with worlds and coming up with plot points and ideas for this other book. And that's when I sort of like crawled back out of the pit of despair that I had found myself in and sort of reevaluated myself and said, it's not that I am not a writer. I think that it's just that I'm not ready for the Assyrian Chronicles. So I guess this is my official notice that I am pausing the Assyrian Chronicles and I'm not going to be working on it anytime in the knowable future. I love the characters and the world and everything about it, but I think that we're just not ready for each other right now. So yeah, I am completely full stop pausing my work on that, and I'm going to be working on my new 80s book baby that I have been wanting to write forever, and I'm so excited about it. Guys, it's been so long since I've actually been so excited to write. I mean, I was excited for camp and I love all of that, and I am excited to write, but when you don't know what to write and you've been blocked for 2 years now, it kind of gets old. And this last few days, I've been so excited to write. I told myself I was going to give myself the week. I was going to keep reading through Harry Potter. And then starting next week, I was going to start writing again. And I legitimately spent like 3 hours yesterday working on world building. And that is such a wonderful feeling after just a few days ago being 100% convinced that I was done to be wanting to write again. So that's what happened to Nano. If I'm being completely, fully honest about my journey that I've been through, I just couldn't do it. And I feel bad that I couldn't do it, but I also feel remarkably proud of myself that I'm taking myself out of that toxic mindset and going forward. But what I also wanted to talk about with all of this that I've been going through in the last few weeks, I came across a video at 4:30 this morning because I was wide awake, by Maggie Stiefvater, and I will link it down below. Basically, she's talking about how being a writer is amazing, but I think sometimes we get so caught up as writers that that is our identity, that it becomes hard when you are struggling, when you are having bad writing days or weeks or months or years, and you think this needs to be my identity. Especially with, as writers, like, you have to promote yourself and you have to have a platform and it has to be writing and it has to do this and this and that and the other thing, and it can just feel like writing is your everything, which isn't a bad thing, but on the days when you can't string two words together and that's your entire identity, that's how it got so easy for me to fall into that pit of despair, because I have let the I'm a writer be my identity. But it needs to be more than that, and I love that video because it's talking about how you need to be passionate about other things, how, being a writer is amazing, but you also need to do other things. Don't let it be your life. Don't let it completely rule how you feel about yourself and the world around you. I mean, you don't even have to be a writer. It could be really about anything. But it really hit me watching that is something I need to work on, is being more fully rounded as a person and showing that to you guys. I had a beautiful, wonderful woman create a kind of character sketch of myself just a couple weeks ago, and I will insert it here because it is beautiful. Isn't that just glorious? I love it so much. But I was explaining to her kind of some of the things that I liked, and it came out this piece that I felt. I showed it to my dad, and he just sort of laughed and loved it, and he said, it's you. It's everything that you love. It's not just one thing. It's not just, a few pieces. It's everything. You are more than just one thing. You love so many different things. And that sort of clicked to me this morning when I was watching that video and saw that picture, because it's up on my corkboard. And I was just like, why am I letting my entire world be about revolving around the one thing when I love so many different things? So all of that, I'm sorry, this is really, really rambly, but all of that said, moving forward, I'm obviously going to be working on my 80s project, but I'm also gonna be focusing on other things. My writing is still gonna be a main priority, but I'm gonna do other things too. I'm gonna read other books and be nerdy and fangirly online and on here, probably. Content that's not just writing. I mean, you probably have a Harry Potter video coming down the line sooner rather than later. Let's be honest. But yeah, so that's just sort of moving forward. Gonna be doing different things, and I hope that you guys are all on board, and I hope that you guys will enjoy the content that I'm putting out, because I know that I'm going to be enjoying exploring new things and doing different things and living my life. That way I have that life experience to write about. So that is my really long explanation of what happened with camp and me, and kind of what's going to be happening going forward. I don't really know what's going to happen going forward, but I'm really excited about it. And I'm not just excited like, oh, I'm excited. I'm like, actually, that's why I've been up since before 4 in the morning, because I'm really excited going forward and doing new things and exploring the world a little bit more. If you are still watching this, however many minutes in this is, I think I've filmed for like 18 minutes so far. But if you are still watching this, you are a beautiful, wonderful, glorious human being, and I love you. I will have another video hopefully up soon. I probably won't be about writing, like I said, it'll probably be about Harry Potter, but that's just how this cookie's gonna crumble. But as always, all of my social media links are linked down below. I will be adding that Maggie Stiefvater video and probably the shop for the girl who drew that picture for me, because she is amazing and her art makes me want to be a mermaid princess. But yeah, if you want to follow me along on all of life's crazy adventures, you can follow me on any of those. I would love to hear from all of you. Let me know what projects you're working on, what things outside of writing or reading you like to do, because maybe that'll inspire me to look into some other avenues of the world. So that would be just amazing. Anyways, I will see you guys soon, and in the meantime, don't let the muggles get you down. Bye.